Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here. Apologies for being a bit late today. I just got back, basically. I just got back, so got all the technicalities sorted, and now we are here for the Game Week 24 deadline. I haven't made any transfers so far, and I know I haven't been posting lots of videos as well. My bad. But I haven't had a lot of time to kind of update my team, and therefore there's lots to discuss in today's stream. But there's also a couple of reasons why even though all the price rises have happened, all the price drops have also happened for majority of the players in my team, I haven't moved because at this point I'm still undecided as to whether I want to do Foden to Enzo, for example, or which Chelsea players are nailed and therefore which ones I should go for. So I've read up lots of predictions over the past few days regarding João Pedro's minutes, Enzo Fernandez minutes, even Chalobah's minutes as well. So we'll discuss all of that in today's stream. But before we get started, if you guys are here and watching already, there's 20 of you guys here, please do help me out and drop a like on the stream. That would be very, very helpful. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while since we've caught up. I feel like because I don't post videos as often nowadays, I really only get to kind of chat with you guys on stream. So I do look forward to, kind of hearing what you guys think, your dilemmas as well. And yeah, just chatting with you guys. So thank you all for coming early. Brett, nice to have you on the stream as always. Always the first one. Henry's in the chat as well. Nice to see you. VJ as always. Joshua, nice to see you as well. Hope you are doing well too. G Tan, I assume that's Gary as well. Nice to have you in the chat. Yes, hi to all the early birds indeed. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Franzberg. All right. Let's kind of break down a couple of my... Today, I don't think I'll be able to answer so many questions because I have to kind of finalize my team. And I'm going to talk through a couple of dilemmas that I have right now. And maybe give you guys a bit of an idea as to why I've been kind of unsure of my moves. So looking at my team, I'm just going to go ahead to the transfer page. Right, so yeah, this is my team this week. In goal, definitely no issues there. I have Raya. And the context also is that I only have one free transfer, as you can see at the top, and I have no money left in the bank. So a bit of a tricky situation. And in goal, I'm going to start Raya. In defense, I have Gabriel against Leeds and Mukiele, who's here. Mukiele against Burnley at home. So he's fine as well. So I have two playing defenders, but of all the other three defenders I have, Rodon, O'Reilly, and Dorgu. Dorgu is a red flag. He's going to be missing for about quite a long time. I saw the Fabrizio Romano tweet a couple days ago. Dorgu is just out for quite a bit, right? So I have to transfer him out, which is not ideal because looking at the how long I've held Dorgu, I benched him for his points against Man City. I benched him for his points against Arsenal. And yeah, that's just the way it is, right? So I've benched all his points and now he's not able to play and I have to transfer him out, right? And then I have O'Reilly, who's also an issue, and then Rodon is my bench fodder. So I have issues in my defense I have to sort out. I definitely have to bring in a defender that plays. The one I want to bring in is Trevor Chalobah. So let me just go ahead and bring him in. Right, and he's rather expensive, by the way. He's like 5.7 million, right? So I want to bring Chalobah in, but I obviously need to find funds from elsewhere, right? 1.4 million. The other alternative that I was looking at, instead of Chalobah, I could go for Senesi. Bournemouth have decent enough fixtures as well. And yeah, it leaves me a little bit more breathing room because I only have to find an extra 0.5 from somewhere. So Senesi is also an option, but ideally the player that I would want is Chalobah. So one of the options that I'm considering is actually dropping Phil Foden, which a lot of people are selling right now. He's also dropped in price. I don't think... Let me just have a look at the selling price that I have for Phil Foden. Yeah, I bought him at 8.4 here, and I'm gonna sell him at 8.4 as well. So pretty much all the money that I've made on having Phil Foden, which to be honest, I didn't jump on him that early. I'm losing all that team value, but I just had to kind of have a bit more time to think. So Foden out, and that leaves me about 7 million in the bank. Now, there's again a couple of options I could go for here. The one that stands out to me is Enzo Fernandez, but I'm not super sure. I mean, you guys tell me in the chat if you feel like Enzo Fernandez is going to play this match against West Ham. Because if you look at the past few games that he's played, yes, right, he's had consistent minutes. Let me just pull it up here. Right, so against Crystal Palace, 90 minutes, and you bear in mind as well the game before that, game week 22, he played 84 minutes, and you have to also consider that he just played Champions League against Napoli, 90 minutes as well, and then you bear in mind that the coming midweek after game week 24, there is Chelsea versus Arsenal, the second leg of the Carabao Cup. My thoughts is that I honestly think Enzo Fernandez misses out. And then am I not better off just keeping, either keeping Phil Foden or going for someone else, right? Someone like a Wilson. Right, but Wilson plays Manchester United this week. So again, it's not ideal. But I would say that the midfield options are also not stellar. Like the other players that I've been looking at also don't really scream to me as like players that I should be jumping on. So let me just read what some of you guys are saying in the chat. Maguire. Yeah, I mean, you guys are saying Harry Wilson. That's the thing. Like, I don't mind going for Wilson as well. At least I know Wilson will start. I mean, Fulham are not going to play in the Carabao Cup midweek, and Wilson has been doing well, right? I mean, I don't have to. I mean, the numbers speak for itself, right? Every other week he's scoring or assisting. Yeah, I'm just in a bit of a predicament right now, but going Wilson then obviously gives me lots of money left in the bank and I can go for Chalobah. Now, another option is I just make one transfer. I keep Phil Foden. I go Dorgu to Hill, right? Because Hill will play Wolves this week. And then I pretty much start Phil Foden in this situation, which is not like the worst thing in the world. Phil Foden didn't play in the Champions League, or at least he didn't start. Let me just double confirm there, but I don't think Phil Foden started. I think maximum he just came on sometime during the game. Yeah. Oh, he came on for Jeremy Doku, who got injured at the 34th minute mark. And it is against Spurs, though. I mean, okay, so I have my options here, right? A straight swap for Dorgu. I mean, some of you guys are mentioning Maguire as well. I think he's an okay option. I mean, 4.3. Yeah, I mean, a like-for-like swap. I think he's an okay option, but, not one that excites me as well. And then, yeah, I mean, then the option is just to play Phil Foden then. But the situation that I'd be left with is that I don't have Chelsea assets this week, which is not, the worst thing in the world, because I look at the predictions wise, I don't think Enzo Fernandez is going to play. This is just my own thoughts. I'm not going to scaremonger anyone. My own thoughts is that Enzo Fernandez has played lots of minutes. I'm not sure he'll start. And then I have João Pedro up front that I'm not confident of going for, so I'm fine to just keep Ekatike because 50% of the predictors don't think João Pedro is going to play. And then the only other one is that I'm missing out is in defense Chalobah. I don't think any other Chelsea assets are actually worth going for. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough spot. I mean, I could chance it on Foden playing. Let me just confirm that Doku is still What do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, Doku's still injured. Doku's still injured. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, enough on my own team and a bit of the transfer thoughts that I have. I don't think, okay, the last thing before I kind of go on to the questions, I don't think I would stretch so far as to go for Cole Palmer in place of Phil Foden, even though it's likely that Cole Palmer will start. I mean, Cole Palmer is fit and I think he will play. But for me, it's more a question where I don't think he'll play the full 90. And I mean, yes, it's against West Ham, but I don't think he'll play the full 90. And then I assume that he will play majority of the minutes against Arsenal midweek in the Carabao Cup. Then my question would be, how many minutes is he going to get against Wolves, which is also a fixture that I love to have him for if I'm buying. So my thoughts is that I don't think I stretch to Cole Palmer. It also kind of forces me to take a -4 then, because I have to find 2 million elsewhere, which may even mean dropping a TK, which I don't think is necessary. So yeah, I don't think I'd be going for Cole Palmer. I'm gonna rule that out. It's either keeping Foden and then doing Dorgu to either Maguire or Hill, or taking -4, doing Dorgu up to Chalobah and then Foden down to one of Enzo, who I'm not confident of, minutes wise this week, or Wilson. Right, so that's my options. Maybe let me go back to the team, and then captaincy as well. Let me just fix this. Yeah, I'm likely gonna captain Bruno Fernandes and vice captain Haaland. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm likely gonna captain Fernandes. I mean, that's another discussion, but I'm gonna poll it to let you guys let me know your thoughts before I get to your questions. What would you do with my team? Keep Foden and do Dorgu to Maguire / Hill. No hits. -4 hit would be Foden to Wilson / Enzo and Dorgu to Chalobah. Oh, I've exceeded the limit. I've exceeded the limit. Give me a moment. This is taking longer than I expected. Dorgu to Maguire / Hill. Keep Foden. Foden to Wilson. Dorgu to Chalobah. -4. Taking longer than expected to put this poll out. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Okay, I apologize for that delay. Get back to the questions. I'm gonna scroll back a little bit because I know I missed a couple of questions. I apologize for that. I was going on a ramble on my team. Uh, let's start all the way back. Um, Good morning. Angel Sure says, sorry, Akaz says, can I start Timber, O'Reilly, and Mukiele? I think Timber would be fine, based on what Arteta has already said. Mukiele is fine as well. O'Reilly, I mean, he's always been a doubt, and he's someone that I really want to transfer out, but I can't do so because I have to deal with Dorgu first. But yeah, O'Reilly, I can't even confirm if he's gonna start. But surprisingly, the predictors do have him around 70% to start. But bear in mind that he also played a full 90 minutes against Galatasaray. But also that Ryan Aitnuri and Nathan Ake also played a full 90. Uh, Morning consult. Hope you are well. I'm well. I hope you are too. It says bench 2, Cash, Chalobah, Bruno G, Thiago, Watkins, Timber. Right now, I've got Watkins and Timber on my bench. Not 100% sure Arsenal keep a clean sheet today. Watkins is fine to bench because he is a bit of a doubt. I don't think he'll start against Brentford. And between Timber, it will come down to Timber and Bruno G. I probably will still start Timber and bench Bruno G, to be honest. So in your case, I think what I do is bench Bruno G and Watkins. Raul or Bruno says Henry. Raul or Bruno? I'd say Bruno G in that case. Why not? Akash says, why not go Maguire? He's good set piece threat. Manchester United defense last 2 games have been amazing. 0.47 xG to City and 2 random goals to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean it is one of the options. I could do Dorgu to Maguire. Like that is one of the first options. But as you guys can see, like 71% of you guys are suggesting for the hit. Which is why I'm thinking about it as well, which is why I haven't made any moves and kind of just been delaying the decision and trying not to let price changes affect me. Also because I think price or team value this season hasn't been as critical or as crucial as compared to other seasons. Reason being, players like Saka, all the kind of semi-premium midfield options like Saka, he's not a must, I'd say. So I wouldn't go out just to buy him. Then there's Cole Palmer. He can't stay fit. Every time he plays a couple minutes, gets consistent minutes for a few games, and then he gets injured again. So managing an ongoing issue. So yeah, the only kind of semi-premium that I'd say has been performing consistently well this season is Bruno Fernandes, which I already have. So I'm not fussed about kind of team value at this point. And honestly, if I didn't have Ekitike in the team, which I'm only keeping because I don't see a real reason to sell him. But if I didn't have Ekitike, I would have lots of wiggle room to make more aggressive transfers as well. So I don't think team value is worth me overthinking my decisions during the weekdays. So I've left it to today to kind of still sit on it a little bit. Maybe a bit of indecisiveness as well. Probably. Thank you for liking, Ramadian. Appreciate that. How many likes are we on today? If you guys are watching and you haven't dropped a like, please help me out and drop a like on the stream. Just having a look at how many likes we're on. We're on 23 likes. If you guys are watching, please help me out and drop a like on the stream. That would be lovely. Foden could well start. Yeah, I honestly think Foden starts as well. But my question would be, how do I think Foden has been playing, and is it worth keeping him and saving the hit? Bench 1, Ekitike, Enzo, Chalobah, Alderete, and Timber. Ooh, that is tricky. That is actually tricky. Chalaba, Alderete, Timber, Ekatike, and Enzo. I think I'll start with players I'd definitely play. I would play Chalaba for sure. So he's out of the equation. Alderete against Burnley seems fine to play as well. At home too, right? And then there's Timber against Leeds, and Arteta has already said that Timber and Saliba should be fine. It comes down to Enzo and Ekatike. It's a bit crazy not to start Enzo, but I'll be honest, and I honestly think that Enzo would be saved for the midweek game against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, I mean, if it's me and if I'm kind of backing my gut call, I'd probably bench Enzo. Which sounds crazy because I know he has been massively transferred in, but this is just looking at the minutes and I mean, what do you guys think? Let me drop a poll in the chat. Okay, so it's 70-30 for those of you who think 70% for those of you who think I should take the hit. This is essentially why I'm kind of undecided. That's the thing. Let me just put it in the poll. Do you think Enzo starts? Okay. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks that Enzo would be... I'm going to check out a couple of predictors as well. Give me a moment. This is interesting. I'm gonna drop this in the... I'm gonna put this on screen and show you guys what I'm having a look at. So all of the predictors actually have... I mean, it could be just me. Most of them think that Enzo starts. I mean, it's at 100%. It could be just me. But is he going to play that many minutes? Is he going to play that many minutes over the next few days? I mean, João Pedro is at 50%, right? João Pedro is 50%. Palmer's at 83%. You know, if I'm to make a decision based on this, and if they're saying it's 100%, then it would be pretty straightforward, right? It'd be pretty straightforward. I just have to do Foden to Enzo and Chalaba in for Dorgu. I mean, it's straightforward as that. But yeah, I just want to know what you guys think. I honestly think he's played lots of minutes. I mean, okay. Let me get back to the questions. Okay, I'm going to speed through because I know I'm far behind. So I'm going to catch up with the chat, and then if I don't answer your questions or I've missed your questions, please help me out and drop it in the chat again. I apologize in advance. Dogu's injury is not as bad as they said, but he won't start this game, I think. Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident Foden starts. It's not an issue for me of whether Foden starts or not. It's more a question of longer term, with having Chalobah and Enzo in the team from now, game week 24, and taking a hit for them, bring me more points than delaying the hit, just going Dorgu to someone like Maguire or Hill, and then keeping Foden, right? Is it worth it? That's pretty much just what I am weighing up. Start Foden or Szoboszlai. I mean, now that Salah is back, I don't think Szoboszlai is on pens anymore. So, yeah, I'd say it's a tricky one, but I don't think I'd be very comfortable benching Foden. I think he starts. Szoboszlai, if he plays right back, is it going to be as worth it? Will you consider Foden to Semenyo and Dorgu to another cheaper Chelsea defender? I wouldn't consider any other Chelsea defender. That's pretty much it. Like, it's Chalobah or nothing, to be honest. Satyaki says, is it worth to sell Keane for Senesi in a free transfer and bench Theo, or just play Theo, have Keane on the bench and 2 transfers next week? Bench is weak with Xhaka and Guiu. I would take I would make the transfer if it's for free as well. Yeah, I do Keane to Senesi. What do you think of Hill long term? I'm not super confident of his minutes. That's what I'll say. I'm not super confident. But I do think that if he continues to start, he will be quite a good enabler. Right, 3.9 million. I mean, is Senesi good to start in lineup for game week 24 given news of his potential transfer? I mean, right now, I don't think any transfers would be or any. It's probably too late for any kind of last minute news to come out just before the game. So, but I wouldn't rule it out. But what I say is I think he's fine for game week 24. That's what I'd say. If all starts, who scores the most points? Ekatike, João Pedro, Evan Nielsen, and Bowen. I mean, if they all start and if they all play 90 minutes, then my money is on João Pedro. If you have a -4 for now, good option, mate, before you use your chip. Fair point. I would roll the transfer. 2 free transfers with more info could be worth it and gives more flexibility. Yeah, but the issue with my team is that I don't have a replacement for Dorgu. I have to bank on the fact that O'Reilly is going to play, which is not guaranteed. Start Wilson or Anderson. I prefer Wilson. Contemplating Shirky to Semenyo or Gravenberch to Enzo. Shirky is a bit of an issue. Shirky to Semenyo, Gravenberch to Enzo. Which one is a more pressing? What I'm thinking about is which one is more pressing as a sell. I'll probably say Shirky to Semenyo because I think Gravenberch still starts most games. Virgil versus Newcastle, Matthias Nunes versus Spurs, Wilson versus Manchester United, Mane versus Bournemouth. Which 2 to start and who off the bench first? I'd go Wilson against Manchester United and Matthias Nunes against Spurs. I'd have Virgil on the bench and Mane on the bench as well. And I would have Mane first bench. Yeah. Thoughts on selling Haaland? Probably will bring him back in wildcard 32. So I've had a thought on selling Haaland very, very briefly. But I've just come back to the question where else would I spend my money? Like, would I not just want to have someone who has the potential to go nuclear in any game and is someone that, I mean, it's also a bit of protecting effective ownership, but I've seen teams, like I think KSI as well, he's without Haaland, and Haaland blanking every single week just means green arrows for him, pretty much because he spread the funds elsewhere. He's also taking bold risks. which is, you know, fair play. Like, kudos to those who are going without Haaland. But my thoughts is I right now don't know where I'm going to spend the money, and therefore why not just hold on to Haaland. I'm going to roll this game week, hope Chelsea somehow turn over the deficit and prepare for carnage. I mean, for what it's worth, I do have a route that I'm considering that would mean that I don't have Chelsea players, right? It's possible I just do Dorgu to Maguire. Okay, Luca Di Gabriel says I have Enzo, Rogers, Bruno, Rice, Anderson, Haaland, Ekitike, Richards, Tarkovsky, Gabriel, Anderson on the bench. Should I sell Dorgu for Chalobah with one free transfer? I think you could roll. You have enough. I play Richards and just roll. Bench 1, Timber, O'Reilly, Theo, Mukiele. Should I be making transfers for my defense? I would bench O'Reilly. And I think the rest, the other 3 is fine. I wouldn't be making transfers on them. Thank you for the plug, VJ. Appreciate that. It says like, share, and subscribe. There's 83 of you guys watching. Please help me out and drop a like on the stream. That would be really, really appreciated. Brian says, who should I replace Gakpo with for the long run? With 0.7 million in the bank, my other midfielders are Anderson, Enzo, Bruno Fernandes, and Saka. I mean, I don't mind going for Morgan Rogers if you have enough money with that. I think Gakpo to Rogers is an option for you. Hi Console, what are Shirky's chances of starting? Let me pull up the Man City predictions. I mean, I wouldn't take it as like gospel truth, but Jump the Wave, Emma has been doing these predictions for a really long time with you know the group of predictors. They do really good work. So even right now, as I'm looking at the predictions for Chelsea, I start to think whether I should rethink my options and just bring Enzo in. Like pretty much. Wait. Okay. So your question was on Shirky. I mean, I my guess, even without looking at this, is that they wouldn't be 100%. Yeah, it's 88. It's 88 here at the bottom. And Foden's actually 63%. Foden's actually 63%, which is interesting. O'Reilly, as usual, not 100% as well. Right, 75. It was a shame. Like I think I could have just not even be in a situation to consider taking a hit. I could have just, if Dorgu was fine, I just have to do Foden to Enzo and just, you know, not think too long. But now it seems like I probably have to take a hit for it. I think Enzo will start, but will come off early. Yeah, I think that's possible as well. Could Chalobah be benched? So this is interesting. I've actually read somewhere. He feels to me like the one that's the most nailed right now. But I've read somewhere that Chelsea forums, that Rosenior has been experimenting. I mean, you've seen that as well. In the Champions League couple of games, they play Wesley Fofana and Badiashile, Tosin Adarabioyo. Lots of variations that he's trying out. And I could see a world where Chalobah doesn't start every single game. But what I also say is that in the more high-profile matches or those games where Chelsea really needed to win, the centre-back pairing that he's gone for does include Chalobah, right? So I would say that he could be benched in the future, but not so much to the point where it makes me feel as if I shouldn't be transferring him in right now. I hope that's clear. Wildcard team. Don't want to leave out Wilson. What do you think? Haaland, Evan Nielsen, and Thiago is the front three I would go for. Rogers, Rice, Enzo, Mbumo, Bruno, Hill, Chalobah, Mukiele, Timber, Gabriel, Darlo, Sanchez. Darlo is an interesting pick, by the way. I mean, who would you take out of the team to have Wilson? I mean, looking at honestly, like, Wilson wouldn't be in my wildcard squad. That's what I'd say. Play Keane or Anderson. I would play. I mean, I look at Michael Keane. He's playing in the first round of games here. Brighton against Everton. Anderson has Manchester United. I mean, arguably, I'd say in terms of clean sheet chances, you would kind of back Everton a little bit more than Fulham, who plays Manchester United, and Manchester United doing really well. But DEFCON does matter. So Anderson has DEFCON, but Keane does have a little bit better goal threat. It's close. I would say flip a coin. Nah. I think I would lean towards Michael Keane. Yeah, trying not to sit on the fence here. Midfielders are Bruno Fernandes, Njai, Saka, Bruno G, Enzo. Do I roll or do Bruno G to Semenyo, Sarr, Rogers? I think now is an okay time to sell Bruno G. Like, if it's for free, I think I'd do it. Bench in order: Alderete, Garner, and Mane. I would say Alderete, and then Mane, and then Garner. Thoughts on not buying Bruno this week? I'll have 2 free transfers for that, and wait for next game week when the game week 26 doubles are finalized. I mean, whether or not the game week 26 doubles are finalized, I still think that you would want someone like Bruno Fernandes. So I don't actually think I would be. Oh, but yeah, you're kind of saying that you need to use 2 free transfers for that. So my guess is that it helps you to decide. Then I would work off a certain basis then. I mean, chances are right now that Arsenal are ahead in. I mean, it's a bit crazy that they have it at 90 and 10% for Chelsea to get the double, meaning 10% for Chelsea to overturn the deficit. I don't think it's that low. I'd actually say it's much closer. But the chances are that Arsenal and Wolves will double. And I would probably work off that basis. Yeah, either ways, whether or not you bring in Arsenal players or Chelsea players, you can't go too wrong this week. So honestly, so long as, even if you're taking 2 transfers this week to bring Bruno in and then one other asset, whether it's Chelsea or Arsenal, I think you're in good hands. Start Theo or transfer someone like Hill for an injured Dorgu. It depends. It depends if you have a good enough bench cover. Like, Theo is fine, and I probably would just roll and start Theo. But for my case, for example, I'm not confident to just start O'Reilly and bench Dorgu. Eventually, Dorgu is someone that has to be dealt with, but I think in your spot, you could just wait till next week. BJ says today's like target is 65. Let's try to hit that. I think we're currently closing in on 50 likes, if I'm not wrong. Let me just have a look. Yeah, we're closing in on 50 likes. There's about 84 of you guys watching. Please help me out and drop a like on the stream. That would be very helpful. Hosham says, when are you using your wildcard out of interest? I think right now, the most probable week that I'll use the wild card is still game week 32 to set up for the bench boost in 33 and then free hit in 34. I think likely that's still the plan. Right, and then dead end into game week 31 is for sure. So I mean that's I think the I would say the popular chip strategy right now. But for now, in terms of my own team, I don't see a reason to go very different from that. I think I'm okay to just do that. It'd be different if I'm looking at my team and I'm seeing so many players that I want to transfer out, then yeah, I probably would hit the button. But yeah, there's no reason for that. So that's why I think the next game week that I should be using the chip is then just game week 32. I mean, obviously, if things come up, then that would change. Enzo or Bruno Fernandes as captain or Haaland? I wouldn't be captaining Enzo Fernandes. I have it on Bruno Fernandes captain for now. Joshua says, I'm wildcarding this week. Would you go without Haaland? I mean, if you don't have Haaland, then I'm interested to know how else are you spending the money? Like, how does your team look, Joshua? Andrew says, going to keep Gordon for now and go against the crowd, playing his boyhood team today. I'm expecting plenty of goals and the elusive goal for Gordon. I hope that works out for you. Simeon says, it took a -8 to transfer out Watkins and Frimpong, having already used my free transfer to swap Walter Martin for Evan Nielsen. Bench was rubbish. Good move or not? I mean, good move or not, you've already done it. So I hope it works out. Evan Nielsen is someone that I kind of like for the next few game weeks. If I was to sell Ekatike this week, it would have been for Evan Nielsen. DM McDonald says team is Pickford, Cash, Gabriel Chalobah, Mukiele, Rogers, Rice, Semenyo captain, Thiago and Haaland. Subs are Dubravka, Timber, Watkins and Stack. I think I would bring Timber in for Bruno G. What do you think about Lacroix? Had him for a long time. He's been terrible, but the fixtures are looking good for the next few weeks. Keep and start this week instead of Anderson or sell to Senesi. I wouldn't sell Crystal Palace assets. I would keep Lacroix. $40 likes and climbing. We're on, I think, 58 likes. Thank you all so much for that. Oh, the computer is dying. Give me a moment. Okay, apologies. One moment. Let me grab my charger. I'll be back. Okay, guys, here is the situation. I probably am gonna have to disconnect the camera for a little bit just to charge the computer. I apologize for that. Give me a moment, but I'll still be on. I'll still be on, and then I'll come on again after that. Give me a moment. So I'm gonna switch off the camera. Okay, I'm still here. I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you guys can still hear me. And I'm just gonna be speaking while the computer is charging. Should have thought this through a little bit better. If you guys can hear me, could you help me out and let me know in the chat? All right, great. Thank you, Akash. Okay. Let me get back to where I left off. Pick one of Shada, Thiago, or Timber to take off the bench. I have 104.8 team value with one. That's insane. 104.8 million team value with 1.5 million in the bank. Insane. Pick one of Shada, Thiago, or Timber. I would really want to start. I mean, out of the three, I would say I would say Thiago still. I mean, even though it's against Aston Villa away from home, I would say also that if you're benching these players, then who would you be starting ahead of these players? Okay, Akash says bench one. Sorry, missed the question before this. Says start Shirky or Collins, have Rogers, or use one free transfer to replace Shirky with 2 million in the bank. Don't have Bruno. Planning to get next week. Start Shirky or Collins. I mean, do you take a chance on Shirky starting? I wouldn't be confident, but then again, this is tricky. I probably make the transfer. Either that or you just start Collins. I wouldn't be happy starting Shirky against Spurs this week. Either you make the transfer or you start Collins. Raptor26589 says, who to bring in for Dorgu? Planning to wildcard in 32. Senesi, Chalobah, or Virgil, or Maguire. Someone else I missed. Already have Verve, so not keen on a Sunderland defender. I think I would go out of those, Chalobah, if you can afford. Watkins plus Kane Dewsbury Hall, or Rogers plus Krupi on a wild card. Watkins is currently nursing a bit of a knock, so I'd say Rogers and Krupi. Bench one between O'Reilly, Alderete, Tarkowski, and Anderson. I would bench O'Reilly. K7 says bench one, please. Anderson, Maguire, and Senesi. If I'm to pick one to bench out of the three, probably Joachim Anderson. Ramadian says I've got DR, Gabriel, Dallo, Virgil van Dijk, Wirtz, Fernandes, Shirky, Haaland, Rice, Thiago, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I would do Shirky to Enzo. I do Shirky to Enzo in your spot. Sturridge LFC says start Thiago with one of my midfielders: Saka, Bruno, Fernandes, Enzo, Garner, Wilson. I start Thiago ahead of Garner. Wilson, Thiago, Munoz, Cash need to start 2 and bench 2. I would start. Wow, that's tricky. It's 2 defenders and 2 midfield. two attackers and two midfielders. I would say Wilson and Thiago. Out of the two, I would start Thiago, and then Munoz versus Cash. I'd probably start Munoz. So then you'd be benching Cash and Wilson. That's a bit crazy, to be honest. For those who just joined, by the way, like I will be back on video soon. But yeah, I am charging the computer at this point. Sorry, yeah, back to the question. I think this is tricky. I'd probably say if I go by the usual way, I would probably start the two attackers and then bench Munoz and Cash. Will Gakpo start? I mean, looking at the predictors, I mean, okay, I wouldn't. Let me just pull up the predictors just to be 100% sure. I mean, Gakpo is 64% to start. I mean, I guess we have to make do with what I wouldn't bank on it. That's simply what I'd say. Let me just move forward a little bit. Thoughts on Ekatike to any 6 million forward or less, and Miley to Bruno for a -4. Should I just roll? Roll. I would roll. 2 free transfers. Do I sell O'Reilly and Anderson to Mbumo and Senesi or roll this week and wait for info? I can bench O'Reilly as I have Tarkovsky, Richards, and Gabriel. I would roll. I would roll. Play my full midfield or bring in Thiago. Who is your full midfield? No wildcard draft this week. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't have time to put up a wildcard draft. Is Calafiori a good pick? Or rather get Timber? I mean, I wouldn't buy Calafiori now, if you're asking. Is it worth? Oh, thanks a lot for you guys letting me know that you can hear me. I've caught up with the chat already, thankfully. Is it worth doing Theo out for Chalobah for -4 or just start Theo? Theo out for Chalobah for a -4. I think I'd just start Theo, to be honest. Don't forget that Theo does have goal threat. And Liverpool are just terrible at defending set pieces. Yeah, Andrew, I read up about the new transfer that Bournemouth had. Let's see how he gets on. Let's see how he gets on. K7 says my wild card is Raya Dubravka, Gabriel Chalobah, Anderson, Maguire, Senesi, Rice, Enzo Fernandez, and Bumo stack. João Pedro, Haaland, and Mane. João Pedro is only 50% to start this week, though. I'd be wary of João Pedro. That's what I'll say. Mane is fine. Haaland is fine. Mane is probably with the thinking that game week 26 would be a double for him, so that's fine. Mbumo, Fernandez, Enzo, and Rice. Yep, they're okay. Rogers, if you could fit in there, would be great. Ahead of Stack. And yeah, I mean, the rest of your team, I can't really, see any issues with it. Van der Ven is out. I mean, I read a tweet that Van der Ven is a doubt, but is he definitely out? Start Wilson or Thiago. Thiago over Wilson for pens. Will you keep hold of Tarkovsky for now? I'm thinking of Cash, Chalobah, and Collins in the upcoming weeks. I would keep Thiago for now. Don't think he's a rush to transfer out. Thank you for the plug, VJ. Appreciate that. Let me just check on the source that people are saying Van de Ven is out. Let me just have a look. I mean, what I've seen so far is that he is a doubt. Let me... Yeah, I mean, he's touch and go is what I see. I'll be back with the video in a bit. I'm on 21% now. I think we should be all right. Let me try. Okay, I think we're back. All right. We are back. We are back. We are back. We're so back. Thank you for bearing with me while there was no video. Okay. Good day, Leon. Thank you very much. Which of the three following players would you start for this game? Alderete, Tarkovsky, Van Heck, Anderson, Theo. I would go Alderete, Tarkovsky, and Van Heck. Is it worth to captain Haaland? I mean, captaining Haaland definitely... I mean, Haaland's expected points definitely rises a little bit with Van de Ven injured. But for me, he's still touch and go. I think it's possible he'll still play. Best Bruno G replacement, Semenyo, Rogers, or Sa plus money in the bank to navigate game week 26. I think the Rogers route is where I'd go. K7 says that's my problem. How do I get Rogers in my wild card? Get your wild card. I think João Pedro out then. That's probably what I do. Because I'm not even confident that João Pedro starts this week. The other way is Mbumo. I don't think it's necessary to have both Enzo Fernandez and Bruno Fernandes and Mbumo. So what I do is just have Rice, Enzo, Fernandez, Rogers, and then like an Anderson, and then spread the money elsewhere. Like you're just going cheaper, and you have triple Manchester United, by the way. Like you have Maguire, Fernandes, and Mbumo in the draft right now. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. The fixtures are okay, but it's not stellar to that point. Justin Lim says, hey Leon, need to bench one from Thiago Ekitike, Anderson, Senesi. Any advice? I would bench Anderson. DR7K34 says, starting Raya, Gabriel, Alderete, Chalobah, Semenyo, Bruno, Wilson, Enzo, Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike. Bench is... I think your team is fine, man. Don't have to make a transfer just to get Rogers in. I think your team is fine. Milton says, Garner plus Saka to Mbumo plus Rice for -4. Is it worth it? Not worth a -4 in my opinion. Play O'Reilly over Anderson. No, I would start Anderson over O'Reilly. Like in my bench order right now, I also have Anderson and O'Reilly. Okay, let me just confirm my moves. Let me just confirm my moves. I'm gonna take a -4. And I'm pretty much going to do Enzo in for Foden, and Chalobah in for Dorgu. Right, I think this is very... Yeah, if you guys can see. So Dorgu, it's a -4. I'm taking a -4. Dorgu out, Chalobah in, Foden out, Enzo in. This could backfire if Foden starts and does well against Spurs, but I'll take the chance here. And I would still want Chalobah and Enzo for the longer term, at least for the next 4 game weeks. So confirm the -4 on stream. Let me just confirm the captain and the vice captain is correct as well. Okay. Yep, so I don't think I'll be making any other transfers other than this. This is good to go. This is good to go. Okay. Let me know what you guys think. And any last questions as well? If not, we'll be wrapping it up for the stream. Drop any last questions that you have. Okay. Yep, let me know if you guys have any last questions before we call it a day. K7 says, would you do Mbumo to Rogers and stack to Wilson? No, I just hold on to Mbumo. Should I sell Saka plus Foden for Bruno plus Rice? 3 free transfers in the bank. I would actually say yes, Those 2 moves seem alright to me. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it a day. What is in the team what is on screen right now is probably how I'm gonna set up. I don't think there's too much to deviate from today, barring any last minute injuries or news, which I don't think we'll get. The early kickoff is Brighton Everton, Leeds Arsenal, and Wolves Bournemouth. So I think we're good for that. After that, we also have Chelsea versus West Ham at 1:30, Liverpool Newcastle at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Singapore time, that is. All right. Any last questions? Michael says, 7.4 million in the bank. Should I go Riley to Palmer or Enzo? Miley, I would say longer term, I prefer Enzo's minutes. So yeah, I don't think I'd recommend Palmer. But it's different if you're kind of chasing and you actually can't afford Palmer. Potentially you could go there, but he would be a risk. He's someone that you'll be checking the team sheet every single week to hope he starts. But again, yeah, if you're chasing, I think it could work. Akash says, should I transfer Acuna for Mbumo/Enzo or roll 1 free transfer? In my midfield, I have Rice, Saka, Bruno, Anderson. I actually think Cunha is fine to hold this week. It's more likely he starts now because Dorgo is out. So why not just hold for this game against Fulham and then reassess? So that would be my advice. Okay, I'm going to call it a day here. Thank you all for coming down to today's stream. I appreciate all of you for being here. I will be recording a video very soon for Game Week 25, and hopefully videos are back. Every week I say this, but yeah, I hope that we'll be back. I wish you all the best for Game Week 24. Thank you for coming down and sticking with me, even though content on the channel has not been as consistent so far. I hope to address that. But yeah, all the best for Game Week 24, and I will catch you guys very, very soon. Bye bye.